These clergies relate with these people all the time. And they are from the Christian side. But what they are speaking, they are not speaking for Christians. They are not going there to say, oh, Christians are suffering. No, they are speaking for Nigerians. Whether you are Christian or Muslim or a traditionalist, they speak for everybody, right? Because everybody goes through the same insecurity. Everybody goes through the same hardship. I've never heard that kidnappers came and they were asking people, which church do you attend? Are you a Muslim or Christian? They just kidnap anybody they see, both Muslim and Christian. They don't ask, are you rich or poor? They just kidnap whoever they see. By any means, you have to cover the ransom. So, which means in this suffering or in this situation we find ourselves, there's no ethnicity there. There's no religion there. There's no region there. It's everybody in it together. When you look at the conversation they had with the president, it's not that leader that opens his mind to listen to what the people are going through so that they can be able to redesign or recalibrate his operations to be able to accommodate the new information he's getting and see how to adjust some certain programs that can address those issues. Any leader that does not listen, to the plight of the followers, then that leader will be a very wicked leader. They don't feel satisfied that the president had them, because you heard what he said, that when they told him that there is a high level of insecurity, he said there's no insecurity, that Nigeria is safe. They said about the economy, how it's now benefiting the poor. He said that the economy is working. So whatever they say, the man knocks it out. So it's unfortunate that the bishop that went there to see him left the place, not being, content that the president had them and will do something. That's exactly what Onaiyekan was saying. A few days ago, the Catholic bishops, went to see Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the presidential villa. And that meeting, at the end of the day, does not really kind of achieve the desired result. But, in this circumstance, your responsibility is to, talk to the leader and allow the leader to do whatever he needs to do concerning the information you have brought to him. But when I listened to, John Cardinal Onaiyekan, who is part of the team, the delegation that went to see Mr. President, the way he spoke simply shows that they just went there, spoke to the president. The president heard them, but maybe did not listen to them. There's a difference between hearing and listening. When you are hearing, you can just hear whatever anybody is saying. But when you are listening, you are internalizing what the person is saying, understanding what this person is saying, and that is the only time you can be able to take some actions to address whatever you have listened and understood. So, but those that only hear, after some minutes, they have forgotten what they had. Why? Because they are not paying attention. Their interest is not in what they are listening to or hearing at that point. Their mind is somewhere else, but they heard what you said. So which means they're not going to make use of whatever information you have brought to them. That's exactly the way I picture, that meeting they had with Mr. President. You recall that their leader, was reading out their objective of coming, mentioned a whole lot of stuff, issue of insecurity, issue of poverty and hunger, issue of trying to dominate the whole country to a one-party, state, and so on and so forth. That's quite a whole lot the man was, reading out, and which are germane. They are critical things that are going on in our country today as we speak. But listening to President's response, I don't think he really listened to them. I think he just had them, but did not really listen to them, because they talked about issue of economy, that the economy is bastardized and is not helping the poor. He said that the economy is good, that the economy is working. They talked about insecurity. He told them that the country is safe. He told them. So whatever they are saying is counteracting them by telling them that it is well. So those guys were like, what the hell? Why are we here? So that was where they started drawing some conclusions, that probably the president have quite a whole lot of people around him that are not telling him the actual situation of things. And this is not new. We have seen it in different leaders, leading the country. They engage a lot of sycophants. The oh yes man, who comes out to tell him that Nigeria is working, security, that nobody, he was kidnapped, that all those things are propaganda from the opposition. These are, recall, the issue of the governor of those states, even Godswill Akpabio, the speaker, the National Assembly, chairman and Senate president, they always say that the opposition is the one fueling insecurity and stuff like that. So when they are telling him that, what do you want him to believe? So, because when you enter Aso Rock, you are kind of in a bunker, according to Peter B's word. He says he's hiding in a bunker. So he doesn't even know what goes on out there, because he sleeps in Aso Rock, wakes up there, do his job there, go back to bed there. So it's like he's confined in a space. The only time he lives there is maybe he has project to commission, or there's something in the International Conference Center he's supposed to chair. That's when he leaves Villa to go there. So basically, week in, week out, he's in one place. He receives visitors, in one store. That's the position. Anyway, guys, this is Andy Media TV, and welcome to my channel. So we're going to look, deeper into what really transpired in Aso Rock on that fateful day when the Catholic bishops, the leaders, the clergies went to see Mr. President to interface with him to discuss the situation and the condition of the country with him. So guys, if you are new to this channel, please kindly like, share, and comment on this video. And also subscribe to my channel. It is your subscription that helps this channel to grow. And the more you like and comment on this video, it helps it to go viral. And I appreciate those who have been part of this channel, supporting this channel in one way or the other. Whatever comment you put down here, trust me, I'm going to reply it by myself. It is what it is. I appreciate you guys for supporting this channel. All right, let's roll into the business of the day. Now, if you have listened to, the conversation or the interview of John Cardinal Onaiyekan with Charles Aniagolo of Arise News, you begin to understand how deep our problem, is, or whatever one it may be. So the point is that when you have leaders who don't listen to the led, we have a big problem. And we keep saying that there is a disconnect between Nigerian leaders and the followers, the people they are leading. So, unfortunately, I have to bring in P2B again in this conversation because in his videos or in his interviews, he keeps hammering on one thing, that the president does not talk to us, the people he's leading. That for the past 3 years he has been in government, he only did one media chat, one presidential media chat, where media personnel, come and ask him questions about what is going on in the country, the economy, security, and the rest of them. One in 3 years. We are in the 4th year now. We are entering the 4th year, heading to the 4th year of this administration. Now, when you look at that, they were asking his spokesperson the other day, Daniel Bola. He said that is his style. That is his leadership style. What kind of, imagine a father in a house. He doesn't communicate with the wife. He doesn't communicate with the children. And you ask the spokesperson, he said that is his leadership style. How does this thing make sense, for Christ's sake? How do you know the pains of the people? How do you feel what the people is feeling when you have alienated yourself from the people? So that is the point. We have seen occasions. There are, killings in Benue or in Plateau. The president just out to France. And he stays in France. And the news is everywhere. He won't come back, cut his trip short to come back. And so his leadership style does not show that he has anything to do with the followers, the people he's leading. That phrase at the beginning, Emiloko, is my turn. When somebody tells you it is his turn, what he cares about is that thing he's looking for. The moment he grabs it, he doesn't care about any other thing else. He focuses on that thing. So, Emiloko is my turn. So, he has taken that position as the president. That's all he cares about. That's his goal to achieve. And probably use the position for whatever I want to use it for. So, but for you, who is part of the game, you are alienated. You have no connection with your leaders. That is the problem. So, because if the president, like some other presidents in the past have done, late in the evening, they disguise themselves, enter the vehicle, no convoy, they just stroll around the city, stroll around the communities to know what is going on firsthand. That's what most presidents does. But in this case, I don't think it's something that happens in this case. Because from what Cardinal was saying, you begin to understand where our major problem is coming from. Why this guy, they don't listen. Why this guy will shout and shout and shout, tweet and tweet and tweet. Many analysts go on TV and talk and talk and talk, and still nothing happens because nobody is listening to us. Nobody is listening to what we are saying. They only care about that plan they have for themselves, for their family, and for the next election. That is their concern, which is quite worrisome. So you will understand what I'm saying now. Let's listen to John Cardinal Onaiyekan, and we'll be right back to analyze what he said in this video. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm very curious. When the bishop who was your spokesperson,
that's the president of our bishops' conference, the new president,
right.
Bishop Dagoso.
Yeah, when he was reading that statement, which was a fairly sort of robust and critical statement, I mean, what was the reaction on the president's face? Was he rolling his eyes and sort of looking every which way, or was he listening attentively?
Both.
Right.
Both. You asked me, how did I see the face of
the president in reaction?
I was not surprised that he was not looking very happy. Not even his colleagues who were there. We knew that this is different from the kind of statements that our president keeps receiving from all kinds of people. And that is one of the things that worries us, that there are so many people hanging around Mr. President, giving him a rosy picture of what the country is, which it is not. And we felt that we have no duty to do that. Indeed, we have the obligation to help him to appreciate the reality of the situation in which we find ourselves. And that is the reality that we painted, which I know is not the kind of thing that he wanted to hear. And the reply shows very clear.
I'm concerned that your cross is going over your mic.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, and you can see his reply. We left that hall, both sides, knowing that, well, we said what we had to say. He said what he had to say.
So was it a frosty meeting then? Would you describe it as fairly frosty? Because, I mean, many Nigerians have become accustomed to polite meetings between religious leaders and political leaders.
When the nation is bleeding, you can't expect a polite meeting with the head of state. We need to let him know. And his reply is that the nation is not bleeding. We told him our economy is not helping our poor people. He told us the economy is doing fine. Practically speaking, he told us quite clearly that he did not agree with us. Again, I said, we're not surprised. We didn't expect him to agree with us. We have done our duty. We have delivered our message. And we have a feeling that somehow, along the line, somebody will show him a few of the things we said.
But in terms of, if you like, your immediate observations, you left the presidential villa believing that the president did not actually really, hear your concerns. He listened to them, but he didn't actually hear them.
He heard it, and he tried to tell us that he heard us, which is precisely why he replied the way he replied. He replied to the points we raised, but I disagreed with them. So he must have heard it. The only question now is this disagreement his final position, or will there be people around him whose job it is to draw his attention that, listen, these guys who came here in white garments, they have not made any personal requests for oil wells or, or any particular personal things. Maybe we should listen to what they are saying. I think we believe one of the problems within our government right now is there are not too many people telling him the truth, which is a pity. We need to have whether in terms of economy or in terms of insecurity, and above all, the area of political climate.
Well, let me come to that political climate, because the Catholic Bishops' Conference warned against what it described as the creeping danger of a one-party dominant state. What was the president's response to that? Because his party, the APC, argues that if opposition parties are weak or fragmented, that is simply politics at work, and they shouldn't be concerned if their party becomes overwhelmingly dominant. That's a political advantage for them, not through their own making.
The position of Mr. President came very clearly in that statement that he made. In politics, all is fair. Is that true? If that is what politics is, that in politics everything can be done, provided you win election.
Well, clearly that's not correct.
That is not
correct. If that is what was said, then it is certainly not correct.
That is not. When we heard it,
there is propriety in everything, and they ought to.
And that is what we are worried about. We are worried about the fact that we see clearly that our government is bent on winning by all means. And unfortunately, they have a lot of means at their disposal to win. And they are deploying all those means in a way that eventually, even if we had a free and fair election, the votes of the people may not count.
All right, welcome back. You heard what Cardinal said. He said that the body language of the president is like they just went there to speak to him. Whatever he does with it is his own concern. They don't feel satisfied that the president had them, because you heard what he said, that when they told him that there is a high level of insecurity, he said there is no insecurity, that Nigeria is safe. They said about the economy, how it's now benefiting the poor. He said that the economy is working. So whatever they say, the man knocks it out. I don't know what they think that those clergy people are there to do. I don't know. These clergies, they are among the head in the Christendom, right? So they oversee a lot of families, communities, and people within their domain, which means they relate with these people all the time. They hear from these people. Don't forget that virtually all the churches have a department that helps the needy, right? People donate there, bringing food stuff, clothing materials, and all of that, which they give out to the people. So they know the quantum of people who come for these aids, people that the church pays school fees for, people that the church support in one way or the other for feeding, for accommodation, for stuff like that. So they know that the number has skyrocketed for the past 3 years. So they know the feelings of the people because they relate with the people all the time in different forums. And the president does not relate with the common people. He only relates with those appointees that he appointed in the villa. The only time he may relate with people is maybe he travel for Salah, for Christmas, to his home to his home in Lagos. That's where maybe some people may call. And remember, security will still block the people from, gaining access to him and all of that. So he does not constantly relate with these people, but these clergies relate with these people all the time. And they are from the, Christian side. But what they are speaking, they are not speaking for Christians. They are not going there to say, oh, Christians are suffering. No, they are speaking for Nigerians. Whether you are Christian or Muslim or a traditionalist, they speak for everybody, right? Because everybody goes through the same insecurity. Everybody goes through the same hardship. I've never heard that kidnappers came and they were asking people, which church do you attend? Are you a Muslim or Christian? They just kidnap anybody they see, both Muslim and Christian. They don't ask, are you rich or poor? They just kidnap whoever they see. By any means, you have to cover the ransom. So it is what it is. So which means in this suffering or in this situation we find ourselves, there's no ethnicity there. There's no religion there. There's no region there. It's everybody in it together. There's no place they are selling fuel cheaper in the country. Everybody buys fuel the same price, buys dollar the same price, and all of that. So when you look at the conversation they had with the president, it's not that leader that opens his mind to listen to what the people are going through so that they can be able to redesign or recalibrate his operations to be able to accommodate the new information he's getting and see how to adjust some certain programs that can address those issues. Any leader that does not listen, to the plight of the followers, then that leader will be a very wicked leader. That is the honest truth. We have occasions where the president did some certain things, people shouted, he went and reversed himself and all of that. We have seen that in the past, but what we are speaking now is beyond what he has done in the past. Some places he has done one or two things and the citizens, shouted over it and they went and, kind of reversed it. What we are saying now is the critical situation we find ourselves. That bishop that read the president of the bishop, conference people that read that thing, they articulated it very well to identify the key problems and mentioned it to the president, thinking that the president will say, oh, I've heard what you guys have said. I will set up a committee to look into all these points you people have raised to see how government will, tackle them and all of that and all of that. That's the simple thing he would have told them. Even whether he want to do it or not, that's a different ballgame. But that would have shown that he listened to them, he understood why they came, and he understood the challenges that is bedeviling the country, and that he's committed to fixing it. It's not about telling people, I inherited this from Buhari, from the past administration, and I'm not running from it. I accepted this job, I requested for it, and I'm going to do it. That's not what we are talking about. That's just rhetoric, audio. Because he told us that him and Buhari are one. So if he's talking about inheriting battered economy, he is part of that battered economy from the beginning. He campaigned for Buhari 2014. Till Buhari won in 2015. He campaigned for him again, second tenure, preparing himself to take over from Buhari at the end of the day. Because he knew that time was northern. He allowed him to run the northern 8 years and positioned himself to take over. So he is pass and parcel. The vice president, it was alleged, is the one that brought the vice president under Buhari's administration. So it's not new to that administration. He was always in Villa to meet the president that time. He followed him on to the campaign. So he can't be telling us he inherited battered economy. He was part of that battered economy. When they were printing ways and means up to 23 to 30 trillion naira. Will he say he's not aware? He's aware, he knows. So he can't be telling us he inherited, because at that time, he would have advised President Buhari to retract his step, to do things differently, but he did not, because he doesn't want to fall out with him, knowing that he's targeting to take over from him when he's done for the 8 years. So now he's there, right? So he doesn't have to complain. Citizens are telling you they are being kidnapped on daily basis. They are being killed on daily basis. There are children that go to school are kidnapped from school. And you are telling them the country is safe. You are talking about, he spoke about the issue of not paying ransom and all of that. Is government supposed to pay ransom from the beginning? There's a case now, in the Borno, the Ngoche case, where they said that the government released 5 billion, but only 1.9 billion went to the terrorist group. That one, is it not ransom? If they didn't pay in Oyo, are there other places they are not paying? So these are the point. The Borno South Youth Alliance president that raised this alarm now has been taken in by the DSS. Till now, nobody knows the outcome yet, because from what I read the other day, the guy has refused to tender any evidence until they take him to court. That's why I say he will provide his evidence, because he doesn't trust, the people that are dealing with him and all of that. So, guys, when you see what Onaiyekan said, when the president was talking about in politics, all is fair, you had him. Simply means that he has to do whatever it takes to win the second tenure. And he's doing it already. It's not hidden. When you look at what is going on in the camps of opposition, all the opposition have already been decimated. Labour Party, nobody is hearing about Labour Party. Crisis upon crisis upon crisis. Even after Peter Obi left, Abu still came back now, fighting with Nenade and all of that. ADC, they deregistered them today. They say no, they are no more deregistered. They removed their leadership today. They restore it next tomorrow and all of that. Even engineering people to go and scatter the party on air. So, are we looking at NDC? somebody passed judgment, say that this party, this association qualified to be registered as a political party. INEC registered them. INEC did and registered them. 6 months after, the same man who said they meet all the qualification came back and said, oh, INEC, I withdraw that judgment. Oh, INEC, I withdraw that judgment that I gave that time. So when you look at all of that, because I want to add an interested party who is not part of the process ab initio, who is not a political party, what is the issue? Logo. He is the first person that registered any logo, that owns the logo. So many citizens believe that it is the ruling party that is creating all the chaos in opposition party, even though they will deny. There's nothing to deny, because we still have the chief of staff to the president on video telling some members of the party, even to invite another person for them to scatter ADC, to destroy ADC and all of that. It's there on air. He said it. So if chief of staff is saying it, so what else are you trying to say? And president has also come to confirm to you that all is fair in politics. That is, do whatever it takes to retain your seat. And that's what they are doing. And that's why people are afraid, what the election will turn out to be. It was in the same meeting he spoke about INEC, that INEC is neutral. So his desperation to retain this seat, to come back for second term, is making him to be, falling into different ditches. President is not supposed to be speaking for INEC. INEC have their spokesperson. They have their chairman. If INEC is neutral, they will be the one to come and say it. It is the citizens who will decide if INEC is neutral or not the president, who is also contesting in the same election. So you can imagine now, president contesting in an election is coming to pass a vote of confidence on the body that will conduct the election. How do you think about it? You're already not showing fairness at the beginning. You are already telling people there's no fair playing field. And he said he will face the opposition. That's not going to, give them any opportunity at all. Because power is not served a la carte. Like he said before, you have to snatch it, grab it, and run with it. That's exactly what is going to happen in 2027. He doesn't care about the opposition. That's why he's trying to, move all governors to one party. It's only 5 governors who has refused to join his party. Other 31 governors are within. People are decamping from their party, joining them, and all of that, because he wants to secure all of them and use them to achieve his goal. Most of those governors will probably not return, especially those looking for second term by 2027, because a lot is going on as we speak. So it's quite unfortunate when you are saying that in politics all is fair. How can all be fair? That is, anything he do to opposition is fair. That's the meaning. So if he use court to destroy opposition, it's fair. If he rig the election, it's fair. If INEC work for him, it's fair. If police or army are used to make him win, it's fair. That's exactly the meaning, which is quite unfortunate coming out from the president of the country. You are supposed to be building confidence in people so that they will come out en masse to support you, so that you can win and win victoriously, showing that you are campaigning and leveraging on what you have done for the past 3 to 4 years. Because by now, what the president office is supposed to be doing is to be presenting their scorecard. In security, this is what we met, this is where we are. In education, this is what we met, this is what we are, where we are. In power, this is what we met, this is where we are. This is how we got there. Nigerians will now be, analyzing what you are saying. Is it true? Did we feel this impact? And all of that. That's what's supposed to be happening now. Not only planning on how to just take up the election. You had Festus Keyamo the other day on Channels News speaking that 2027 will be coronation, not election. That's exactly what they want. And people have been screaming this since, that what this president wants is coronation. That's why they are decimating all opposition. And people are still blaming the opposition. It's weakening them. Okay, imagine somebody that has how many court cases in court, even fighting for his own survival. When will he now have time to be doing opposition, attacking president or critiquing his policies and all that? He's still trying to survive first. Anybody drowning in a river is not thinking about the billions he have in account or the millions or his girlfriend or wife and children at that time. What he's thinking about is how to survive from that water. So that's why if you see crocodile, we grab crocodile, because he's looking for survival. That is what is going on in political parties today, because of the pressure that is coming on them. If one court doesn't give this judgment, another court will give another judgment, and so on and so forth. So they are battling for their survival. So that's why they are not doing much as they're supposed to do. If the president gave them that platform, allowing opposition to play their opposition, role, you would have seen something different. They may not be perfect, but at least it would have been more stricter, better, stronger than what we are seeing today. So, and remember, oppositions are in silos. NDC one side, ADC one side, PDP one side, and so on and so forth. So their power to bite are limited, because they could not be able to shelve their ambition and pick just one person who will represent the opposition, and all the opposition will rally around that person. Everybody wants to be president. That is the issue. So the question is not about being president. Why do they want to be president? Most of them is just to grab power, use it, enrich themselves, enrich their families, their friends, and answer that title, former president, at the end of the day. It is what it is. So if Tinubu that said Emiloko, and he came in, they moved subsidy from day one. He had no plan on how to govern. That's what led Nigeria economy to where it is. If you remove subsidy on petroleum product, remove subsidy on power, remove subsidy on forests, but you have programs to cushion that impact, the economy would have been as bad as it is today. Things wouldn't have been as costly as it is today. So you remove 3 subsidies in forest, petroleum product, and in power, and again devalue the naira. You can imagine the body. 4 things in one sweep. That's why it's difficult for people today. It is. So, and they are telling you these things are working. The economy is this. GDP is increased by so percent. We're foreign reserve is 50 something. Nobody cares about all that damn thing. What people care is that I bought 1 mudu of garri 200 naira last week. This week I bought it 150. Next week I will buy it 100 naira. That's what people want to see. I fill my tank with 50,000 last month. This month I now fill it with 30,000. You will see the difference. Minimum wage and all of that. These are what people are seeing. We don't have power for the past 1 month. Now we now have power at least 15 hours a day or 20 hours a day. That's the kind of improvement that people will know the government is working. Now you saw, I was just watching the other day, yesterday, in the middle of the night, I saw the wife of the president distributing buses to APC youth group, right? But he's telling other musicians to bring their own money to do foundation, for people to do kuli and dakar. The money they are spending on those buses, is it not enough to pull people out of poverty? Imagine 14-seater bus, multiply the cost by the number they bought. Imagine how many people that money would have pulled out of poverty. But they are investing in areas that concerns them, the area they benefit directly. Then they are now asking Davido, Bonaboy, Asake, and the rest of them to use their money to be doing foundation for people to fry akara and kuli. That's the leadership we have. And somebody has been asking, all those money she's doling out, doing all this, where are they coming from? People mentioned about the governors that move part of the allocation to Renewed Hope Ambassador's account, right? About 700 to 800 billion naira is what they have saved there. Till now, nobody is hearing anything again about that money. Those monies are campaign money for APC, for Mr. President. Again, as we are talking about that one, it means between now and January, when the main election will start, APC must have amassed close to 2 to 3 trillion. That's the possibility. If between now only governors alone has saved 800 billion for him in that the new Hope account, that Hope, who's the governor of Imo State, is managing. Imagine other philanthropists. Imagine his friend is awarding Coastal Highway to, and the rest of them. Imagine how much those people will pull together again for him. Imagine how much he himself will now pull by himself. Put it together. You will see we're talking about trillions. So there's no other candidate that can match him money to money. No way. So expect vote buying. Serious vote buying. The one that happened in Ekiti is nothing. You will see the main vote buying in this forthcoming election. That is the honest, because there will be so much money for them to spend. So when you look at what is going on, you know that this is about money. And the president has all the money he needs. He's the one in charge of the pulse of the country. So what are you expecting? So the perception is very important. What is people's perception to this government? So if president is telling you economy is fine, there's no insecurity, everything is working, he will also tell you there's 24-hour power supply, basically, if everything is okay. So why do those people come? If everything is okay, the bishops will not come to see you. They came because things are not working for majority of Nigerians. And only those supporting APC are those who are benefiting from what APC is doling out. That is the truth. Now, the buses I just mentioned, going to the youth group now, those beneficiaries who will hijack those buses now, why wouldn't they be supporting the APC? And after election, that bus will disappear. Nobody will get it back. The person holding it will disappear with it. We have seen it happen over all the time. During the election, most things they buy and dish out for election. At the end of the election, they disappear. It is what it is. So it's unfortunate that the bishop that went there to see him left the place, not being, content that the president had them and will do something. That's exactly what Onaiyekan was saying. That based on that, they believe, well, they have shared their experience with him, aired their mind to him. Whatever he does with it is his own cup of tea. So, but is that how leadership should be? No. Information flows from followers to leaders and leaders back to followers. That will be more communication channel. You are leading somebody, a husband in the house. He doesn't know how the wife is feeling. He doesn't know how the children is feeling. He doesn't care about anything about them. And he said he's the head of the family. No, he cannot be head of the family. You must know what is going on in your family. You must listen to every one of them. Your children, you listen to them, hear what they are saying, listen to your wife, listen to any other person in that house, so that we know how to put them in the plan and be able to address their respective needs. Because what the girl needs is different from what the guy needs, different from what your wife needs, and so on and so forth. So in Nigeria today, president needs to listen to the people. That's why we are saying if he's hosting media chats, he would have been hearing, from people. He said he doesn't go to social media. So his account now in X is not person the manager now, right? Then you send Daniel Boala and the rest of them, Bayo Nonoga, Sunday Dare, they come on air. There's another one. You see Fasuda, whatever his name is. They will come and be telling you how 1,000 can feed a family. That's what they'll be telling you. That's what they will tell the president, that the person earning 20-something thousand in pounds in UK, that the person earning 60,000 in Nigeria is better than that person. That's what they tell president. So that's what do you want him to think? When they are telling him that somebody in Nigeria earning minimum wage is better than person in UK. And the president did not wonder, why is everybody at the embassy looking for visa to run out if the country is good for them? He doesn't think like that. So you can understand what we are saying. Those people are paid to come and push propaganda. Tomorrow now, Daniel Boala will move from APC to another party that is, that won the election. If you ask him what he said about Tinubu, he say, he's opposition. He's just doing the work of opposition. That it doesn't matter. That's the way they think. They don't care about their integrity. They don't care about their personality. Where is President Omokri today? Ambassador designated to Mexico. After all he said, called President Drug Baron, that nothing he didn't do, including protests in UK. That's nothing he didn't call president. And Tinubu is good at bringing his enemies close. That's the kind of strategy he uses. And now I brought John Omokri close. You won't hear Renault's voice attacking him in 2027 election. So he has removed one opposition away. So that's what he does. That's his strategy. Daniel Boala that spoke that he took bullion van and this and that. You saw what happened with his interview at Al Jazeera. He denied everything there, even when they are playing the videos where he said that. Today you ask him, he says his opposition work he was doing this and that. That's it. See Kenneth Okonkwo. Oh, P2B is the best. There's nobody. My principal, they have checked him everywhere and they ticked all. Today, where is Kenneth Okonkwo? P2B is now the clueless and nobody. You see these people. Trust them at your own peril. Everybody's looking for what to eat. That's what it is. And nobody cares about where the country goes. Nobody cares. So those who genuinely care, they don't see them as, because Nigerians are used to having this kind of leaders who don't care about them, who use them and dump them. They are sharing rice. I saw a priest who received one bag of rice with Tinubu's head on it. They branded the bag with Tinubu. You know that is presidential portrait. That's what is there. And the man was so angry and insulted them that they are so useless to be. But he will share the rice to parishioners anyways. One bag of rice to one church. So you can, if you know how many billion they budgeted for that thing they just did, that the priest got one bag of rice to share for the whole churches. Is it one cup they will get? So that's why I'm telling Nigerians, stop selling your votes. Stop collecting money and voting these same people. That money you collect won't serve you for 4 years. It will only serve you for a few days and you end up back in the same suffering. Use your vote wisely. Your vote is your power. Cast your vote to this person you believe can be able to run the country and deliver the country from this current situation. What Nigeria needs now is a money manager. Somebody that can come in, take hold of Nigerian resources, manage it properly for the benefit and the interest of the person. And for you to do that, you need somebody who has conquered greed. Somebody who is satisfied with what he already has. That's who you need. If you bring all these greedy politicians who spend billions, that's no, if Tinubu spent 3 trillion for 2027 election, for example, he must get that money back. Those people who donated those money, he must award something to them to get their money back. That's how this whole thing works. It's a recycle. That's how it works. So do not collect money and vote these same people. If they give you money, collect. It's your money. But don't vote for those people. Anybody giving you money to buy your vote, it does not mean well for you. It's as simple as that. So, but Ekiti, till today, nobody probed that Ekiti video we saw where they are giving people voters card, sharing voters card and money to people. Nobody. We have never had any probe. We have never had any investigation. We have never known who did that. How did he get the voters card and all? What kind of country do we run, for Christ's sake? I imagine if it's opposition. If it's opposition party that did that, imagine what it would have been. But because it's from the ruling party, they are okay. Anyway, guys, you heard from the bishop. That is the plight of our country. Nobody listens to anybody. Doing what they want to do, how they want to do it, they don't care. So I don't know what you think about this whole thing, but I know you have your own views. Kindly put it at the comment section. My comment section is open, right? And I will respond to you as soon as I see your comment. But if you are new to this channel, kindly like and share this video, and also subscribe to our channel and put on your notification bell so that when my next video drop, you will be among those that will be notified. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing to this channel, and thank you for supporting this channel to grow. I will see you in my next video. I'm signing out. See you.